Welcome to the Crooked Stripes Podcast, where your hosts discuss various aspects of lawn care, landscaping, and snow removal. Let these two friendly Canucks help you cultivate a different outlook on the green industry. And with that, here are your hosts, Brendan Brubaker and Martin Hodder.
All right, we are back, guys, for another episode of the Crooked Stripes. I'm Brandon Brubaker, and I have my co-host Martin here. Martin, how are you today?
Good. Living it up for another one.
Yep, starting it up for another one. Yep, we have a very special guest here. I've been following this guy for a while. He's out in Hampton, New Hampshire. Welcome to the podcast, Jack Haraden.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, good to be here. I've been following you for a while, like I said, so reaching out to you and getting you on here is a no-brainer. So glad you're here, man.
No, you guys do great work, both of you. I'm glad we could connect and get this rolling.
Nice. Absolutely. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So you're out in New Hampshire. So maybe just tell everyone kind of what you got going on, how you started, what you do for services and all that stuff. Great.
Yep. Yeah. So I started back in 2018, going on 6 years now. Landscaping's always kind of been a passion of mine. My dad was a big figure in that. We would just do yard work. We would help out the whole, we have a nice neighborhood, and we'd help everyone out and do their cleanups, whether it was, picking up sticks, whatever. My dad works for a construction company, so we always had a dump truck available. So we'd always do all the cleanups. So I always had a passion for that. I'd always mow the lawn, maintain my house at least. And then it really came down to, I would say, junior, senior year. I was like, what am I doing with my life? What's after high school? Am I going to go to college? Am I just going to start something? So my dad's like, oh, you should be a firefighter. And, firefighters are great, but that wasn't, that just didn't click with me. And, so I was in entrepreneurship class. I think it was senior year. And me and my dad were talking, I think it was that same talk, and something just about landscaping just stuck. I was like, you know what? I really want to do landscaping. So in my entrepreneurship class, I came up with a whole presentation, and Haraden Landscaping just stuck. And, I'm proud to be a Haraden, and, I wanted to keep the name. My dad was he was like, oh, use something else. But I really like that name. So ever since senior year, when I wasn't even a business, kept that. And then I wasn't going to go to college. And as me and Martin just talked before we got on live, I wasn't going to do anything, but my godfather, who's actually a big influence in my career and just my life, Tom Moulton, he was like, Jack, I don't care if you're going for basket weaving, you're going to college. And I respect him to this day. I went for horticulture at the University of New Hampshire. And he's like, Jack, I really want you to go. It wasn't a money issue. It wasn't that. It was just, I didn't know, and I did okay. I wouldn't say I was, an A+ student. But it just came down to it. And he was like, hey, I want you to go. He went to UNH himself. So he was big into getting me to go. So I ended up going. I went 2 years. I was going to go for business. And I'm kind of glad something didn't work out. They were taking the business out of the 2-year program, and horticulture was there. So me and my sister came with me, Amanda, and she was attending UNH too. We actually graduated the same year. She was there for business. In the 4-year school, and I was in the 2-year school for it's called Thompson School. And we were at the open house, whatever, and there was horticulture. So I was like, wow, plants. I want to be a landscaper after. So we went with that. I got in, and I was already in. So then I had to pick my major. So I went with horticulture. And I had the best 2 years. You would live as you were a regular UNH student. I had housing, so I got the whole living on my own, which was, I think, a great point.
Yeah.
To growing up, and then, we, so then in horticulture, my more title, whatever you want to say, the title would be landscape construction. So I had, there was pruning classes. We did a lot of class work, but there was a lot of field work. We did landscape lighting. There was a hardscaping class, which I love. We gave back to, each year they would give back to one of the buildings or a employee. So we built a patio for, I think I don't know if it was a client or it was a faculty member, but that was nice. We built a nice patio for them. There was plant ID, which was crazy. That was a hard class. We learned 50 plants and trees and bushes a week, and you had to it'd be the the common name and then the scientific name.
Right.
That was right over my head, but
that sounds the exact same as what I went through. And for the exam parts, like they'd take like a clipping of a plant and put it on a table and be like, what is this?
Yeah.
It'd be like a leaf, and it'd be like, oh, that's a whatever, right? That's
or like the bark.
Just the smallest little piece. Yeah.
My teacher could go right up to the tree and be like, oh, this bark, touch it, whatever, look at it, and be like, this is a maple. And I'm like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously over the years I've learned, what's what, but I am very thankful for going there.
Yeah.
Enough about the classes, but so I think I started officially HL Haraden Landscaping in 2018 or 2017, whatever. I was kind of like under the radar for a bit, and then I officially went 2018. I think, maybe it was 2017. I was a freshman, and so I remember commuting back and forth from UNH. I would go on the weekends to do cleanups. I didn't do plowing then, but it was a grind. But I was ready to do it, and I'm glad I did it. And then I graduated in 2018 with a 2-year associate, and we're here.
Been running it ever since.
Been grinding.
Nice.
No,
That's
the school's
awesome.
Definitely a good, like, I don't know about you, like, where you kind of said going into it, you didn't know it was a thing. Like, I was the same way. I was in university. I had 2 years of arts degree, bored out of my mind. It wasn't what I wanted to do. And then I just kind of stumbled across this program. I was like, oh, this would be like something up my alley. And it was did you have like a big class?
No. So sadly, which it sucks to hear, but after my year, horticulture got thrown out, which
with too low of attendance. Yeah, because we were super low. We were probably, I think, 9, maybe 10.
Yeah, exactly. But we had probably 9 to 15 kids, and it was cool too. There was an arborist. That was a degree. You could be an arborist.
Nice.
And obviously you had to take all your regular classes, but they got to stay because they always had a lot. Culinary school was big in the 2-year school. But sadly they took out horticulture, which we were all trying to fight my last year, just because it was such a great program. And it was those kids that, not necessarily don't want to go to a 4-year school, but it was that 2-year was just perfect.
Yeah, it's like enough to kind of, like you said, you got to grow up in that 2-year span, and then you come out and you can get into a workforce, and you're going to get a job somewhere.
I think it was big for me to live on my own. I was living at my dad's house, and just, I don't know. I'm glad that Tommy really pushed me. He's my godfather, and I'm just glad. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, I know. Almost going away to school or whatever, it's almost just going away and having that experience. Living on your own is almost more beneficial than the school itself.
True. Oh yeah.
Almost. I mean, it's not in the horticulture case, but
No, but I don't think I don't want to push on anyone that they need to go to school, because I clearly didn't need to go. I don't think a landscaper needs to go to school. If you just have a great work ethic, and you stick to your guns, I think I think you'll be fine. Like, I don't like when people are like, oh, you need to go to college. I like certain things. My girlfriend's a teacher. You need to go 4 years of school for that. But
Totally.
I don't think, if you want to be a mechanic or something, if you have that good work ethic, just go for it.
Yeah.
The hands-on is definitely a good way to, and even still, like, even with that schooling, like you don't come out knowing everything. You still gotta spend a fair bit of time, like getting your hands dirty, right? Digging in and making it work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest, what I took most out of it was the hands-on stuff, the classes, that was just like high school, whatever, English class, all these other classes, whatever, math class. But the hands-on stuff was, we learned how to hand prune. Like my teacher was big on, she didn't think you use gas powered. You always hand prune and you use shears, which, hey, props to her, but I don't think we could do that in our business,
No,
definitely
not efficient.
Yeah.
Might be there all
clients
day.
Clients wouldn't like that one.
No.
Yeah, they wouldn't like the bill after that, but
yeah.
Nice. Cool. Okay. So you touched on a couple services you guys do. What's your main services you offer there?
Yeah. Yep. So main service would definitely be mowing. That's what we, weekly mowing. I don't really like doing bi-weekly. I have a couple clients which I allow it for, but mostly weekly mowing, whatever. I'll do the bi-weekly. So yeah, I'd say mowing's our main service, and then mulching's, I'd say, my second big service. We do that. We start right after. So we'll do spring cleanups, then we go right into mulching.
Nice.
So I'd say mulching's a big one for us. We do mulching probably from early spring to right before fall. Sometimes like this year, I had a lot of mulch jobs, so I finished it just before like fall cleanups,
Oh wow,
nice. That's cool.
Yeah, so mulching and obviously I do other jobs here and there, but mulching's a big one. And then coming, pruning, usually do spring and fall cut back on the seacoast.
Nice.
And then what else do we got? I will do, like, I know I heard about you guys in your you were talking to Tom in the last episode about top dressing. Like we do loam and seed. Everyone, I say loom, but it's
Right.
We will do. I just don't like Martin. You have obviously you're wearing a Kubota shirt. I would love to get a Kubota later on. I don't know about how soon, but I'd love to get a Kubota to do more like full on restorations. But right now I think it's just we'll do spots. I'll get 3 or 4 yards, and we'll put in wheelbarrows, and we'll bring it out. But yeah, I definitely say mulching's other than mowing, is my big service. Obviously we do cleanups, and then plow in the winter, which this year hasn't been too good, as today we got like an inch, so that's not going to be.
And we're the same way. Like this time last year we were at like 8 plows, I think, and so far we've had 3 in assaulting.
Yeah, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah, we're pretty similar weather-wise, I think.
Yeah, you guys are pretty close to each other. I mean, which is kind of
closer than a lot of the other people that we've had. So
closer than you and me.
No, it's tough. And then going off that, I'd say in the winter, other than plowing, everyone. I guess this is a question for that I bet all landscapers get. What do you guys do? And it's before I came on this podcast, I did a odd job for a client. I send out emails here and there, and I'll do dump runs, brush runs, whatever they want, really. I'm not as handy as my dad with carpentry, but whatever they want done. Now, like she had stuff in her attic, I took it all the way from the attic and threw it in my truck, and then brought it to my local dump. And it keeps me busy.
Good too, right? It keeps you busy, and it's kind of money coming. Like obviously, it's not going to be the same money you're making every day if you're landscaping, but it's enough to kind of keep bills going. And we do the same thing. And then we send out emails, especially on our slower winters, saying, "Here's a list of winter services we offer," and then we do that and just
keep us busy,
Yeah, keep us in front and in front of your customer too, right? Which is the main thing. You don't want them calling somebody else to come get the dump stuff, and then they might mow too, right? So it's
and that's a big thing I would say with my clients. Like I landed this one street, and they were really like, "Hey, will you do cleanups? Will you mow? Will you plow?" And I was like, "Yep," and that got me right in the door.
Nice.
Yeah, the one-stop shop.
Yeah.
Good
Oh, that's
stuff.
awesome. Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
do
You
much?
guys,
Yeah.
you look after some pretty lush looking properties, I've noticed on your Instagram, like
Yeah, I
nice
got
trees, you
yeah,
know?
so a bigger thing out of the gate, and I didn't talk about too, which I kind of skipped over. Tommy, my godfather, he's very successful businessman, has a lot of commercial properties. So I started off when I was going to UNH. He goes, Jack, I want you to take over my properties. He had someone else. Whatever happened. I took over. It was more because he wanted his godson.
Yeah, of
Hey, Jack, I want you to have them.
course.
So that's what I would say I first started off with. And then I had some residential clients here and there, and he has 2 houses of his own. But yeah, right out of the gate, he threw me in the fire and gave me like 6 to 8 commercial properties. And
Nice.
so he kept me busy. He kept me on those weekends, which was good. I think that helped me out too.
Oh, yeah. Probably helped you pay for your school too, coming back and grinding away on the weekend.
Yeah, college ain't cheap. So
I know. Oh, that's good. Nice. Cool, man. What would you say you do marketing wise to try to get more clients or, push your services?
So since I'm a tight group, it's just a tight crew. I actually just hired my first employee in 6 years, Kyle, great kid. So we're a small crew. I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't market. I use Instagram, my website, as a showcase. Actually, a couple of years ago, I think it was 1 or 2, Walker reached out to me, and they asked about a lot of things, and I don't really market I get so many jobs from either my clients or I'd say my biggest thing's word of mouth.
Nice.
I give my clients, I'm thankful I got a great group of clients. Everyone just, has nothing but great things to say. I'm glad they're saying that. And they'll refer me, and it just keeps on going. And I do feel bad because I'm a small crew, so I only want to take on so much because I love being reliable. And when you get to getting taken on too much, you can't be reliable. And I do get a lot of calls, still. And it does suck to deny, but I only take on what I think I can handle.
Yeah, right. Nice.
So you have all your trucks and stuff like logoed and wrapped and stuff too. Yeah, they give the big enclosed trailer all. And that helps too, right? Having that on a job site every day.
Oh, that's a driving billboard. Then we have, I got
the whole thing.
All my merch. You gotta stay branded. So I out of the gate, I would say I did Facebook ads. But the thing I don't like about online, all these, using online stuff and, whatever, everyone's different, but, Google ads, it's just, I'm big for Hampton, so we got Hampton, we got Northampton, town right next door to us. I got Rye, Hampton Falls. So I'll go around to like the different places, but Hampton, is like, I get so much business in Hampton that I could almost, stay in just Hampton.
Nice.
But when I go to the Facebook ads and stuff, I'll get people up north, like north of me, calling up, and I'm like, I don't even go there, So it's just, I just don't. And I'll put like a 5-mile radius, and it still I'll get crazy calls. Hudson, New Hampshire, I'll get calls all over. So it's like,
right.
That's why I was just like, you know what, I'm all set with that. And luckily to this day, I've been just given a lot of work, and
seems to be working for you. So
no, and I still get the calls either way. I don't know where they'll say, oh, like you guys, we've all been following each other for a while. They'll say they either saw my Facebook page, my Instagram page, my website. They'll see I'm a UNH student and they really want me because they might have gone to Thompson School. So a bunch of connections. Hampton's very, it's a small, it's not
like
small, but it is.
It's like a tight knit kind of.
Yeah, everyone knows each other. And so I like that.
They try to keep everybody in house.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Which is really good going forward, right? As you grow and kind of add more properties. Like I'm sure if you're in that tight of an area, your mowing route and all that stuff got to be pretty. Pretty dense.
So mowing, cleanups. I almost will start from like the highway, and close to where I grew up, and then I'll work my way to the beach, and then I got people all around. But I keep it, we're going from one house to the other. It's not like we're going from Hampton to this town to this town. We go Hampton. I get most of those done, and then we'll go. We will go to some other towns, but I just don't like traveling too far. Time is money, and we live, like I said, close to the beach, right on the seacoast. So in the summer, when you go down to the beach, you're going to be sitting in traffic for 30 to an hour, and I'm all set with that.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Nice. Yeah. Why would you go elsewhere when you got so much work right in Hampton, right?
Yeah. No, and eventually I probably will have to expand, but it's just, we get so much, and it's just nice having, like I said, I got that one neighborhood that I got I probably got that right out of the gate. I used to work for another company, and then when he was moving on and not doing landscaping anymore, they all knew me. They knew I was starting out my own company, and they went right to me, and they all just kept coming. And I go down, I do 9 out of 13 on a street. So I'm barely moving, which I love.
That's pretty good, especially for your cleanups and stuff, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Me and Brandon were talking about, it's the windstorm you have, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just got that last year. After seeing on Instagram, I follow Aldridge. I think it's Aldridge Landscape.
DJ.
Rolling 2.
Oh, I know.
That's crazy.
That guy's crazy.
I'm glad I bought that. That was a great investment. Same with the Skag Leaf Vac that I got, 29 horsepower. I started off with that. I started off with a leaf sucker. I had a 12 or 13 horse. So when I got that Skag tow behind, thing was a game changer. But that windstorm, when I first tried that thing out, I was like, whoa, it's loud, and it really will. If the leaves are wet, it'll play a little bit. It'll obviously not work as well. But when those leaves are dry, those things will go like 50 feet.
Oh yeah,
that's crazy. I know. Those things are so powerful. It blows your mind seeing videos of those things. So that's a good purchase.
And especially where you're
the one thing that did suck with that was, on a windy day, like I said, they go far. So on a windy day, you'd be blowing them. They go probably 20 feet up and 20 feet back. Then, that was the only crappy part. But you just got to know when to use it and when not to.
Right. Okay.
And it was probably a huge time saver when you were by yourself, right? Like, especially like the loading part. Because like when we used to do it before I bought mine, we would be like, blow it to a pile, load it in tarps, throw it in the back of the truck. And like, if you're by yourself, there's only so many leaves you can put on a wet leaves on a tarp that you can lift, right?
No, and I know a lot of people before me, they were saying, Jack, like, you get a windstorm, that's like 4 people. The windstorm itself is like 4 guys, which it is. And you could do just cleanups, just you and the windstorm, you have that thing going. And then I run Red Maxes. I don't know what you guys run for blowers. But those things work great too. But anyone that's looking to take that next step with cleanups, that definitely was a big thing. I don't know if you guys use leaf plows. I put that on my Skag Cheetah.
Okay.
That works great too.
Nice. Yeah. Did it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I've had that. I've had that for a couple of years.
Okay. They look like they work really well, those leaf plows.
Yeah, you gotta be careful, because like sometimes when you're pushing them, they'll legit get like concrete. They just get so hard. And I've had a couple times that the frame that the plow's connected to will bend, because the leaves they get so tough.
Wow. Okay.
But no, from getting the leaves, say you use the windstorm and get it, make a windrow or something. And then instead of just keep on using that, I guess it's better, at least in my case, you'd take a windrow out, plow it to the front, suck it up. Because obviously I had to be, I could go on some clients' lawns, but mostly we'd always go to roadside, make a nice pile, and then take the dump truck over and suck it up.
Yeah, nice. That's a good way to do it.
You have like a 1-ton dump, right?
Yeah, I got a 3500 Ford.
Okay.
Sorry, 35. I got a 3500 GMC, and then I got a F350 Ford dump truck. So I got a regular truck, GMC, and then a dump truck. Ford. I'd love to trade my GM. I'm a big Ford guy, so I'd love to trade my 3500 in for a new 350, just a regular truck. Kind of like I could take it home, but
you're still able to use it for work and haul some stuff around and
and I probably would. I put a dump body in it. I got one of those
like
dumpers.
Inserts.
Nice.
Yeah, they're pretty handy. Me and Brandon both have.
Yeah.
They're so handy for like
so nice.
I wouldn't use it for everything. Like we don't use it for hauling soil and stuff because we have like the same thing, like a 1-ton dump and a dump trailer and stuff. But like just for like what I love the most with it, like I'll take the enclosed trailer and that, and doing like our cleanups and pruning and stuff. So I keep everything in the enclosed, our trimming stuff, ladders, cleanup, and then you just throw it in the back of the dump box, and it's just like boom, easy, done, and away you go.
Yeah, so I started off, obviously I just got my dump. I think I got it 2 years ago. So before that, I was all in my GMC, which, out of the gate, like I would recommend to any young kid starting, the best thing, get just a truck and put a dump insert in it. There's nothing better. There were so many different things that I did. I had like a conveyor belt. I don't know if you ever seen on the back of your tailgate, you can put a conveyor that's like a conveyor belt. It's like a, whatever you want to call it. And I start off with that, and then it just got too, you would get grass on it and stuff, and the grass wouldn't always come out. It was kind of like if you think like a grocery store, what they use.
Nice,
it was basically that, but stuff wouldn't always come out, and I was like, screw this. So then obviously I went to the dump body, and I never looked back. That was great.
What made you go with the dump truck over a dump trailer?
I never really had. Well, so I have an enclosed trailer like you, Martin, and I just don't personally. I don't really like them. I don't know. I just got that enclosed trailer, and obviously being a small crew, it's not like I have someone else that could.
Yeah, okay. To drive like another. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
you can take the dump truck with the enclosed.
Yeah. So usually, what we will do, my mowing crew, me, when I'm mowing, it's, I'll take either my I usually will use my dump truck in the summer with it hooked up to the enclosed trailer, my 20-foot. And then I like plowing with my GMC, but I switch off here and there.
Nice.
But, so my Ford, I'll put the box on the Ford. I did have it on my GMC, and the dump body still did lift. It would lift, a lot of. I don't think I ever pushed it. Like I remember doing a job with my dad, and I think we put stumps or something in, and the thing didn't. It was pushing, so we had to take some out. That's probably the only time that it's ever been too heavy. But other than that, it's been great. It's been great for what I've used it for. I think I have put rock and dirt in there, but for the most part, it's
And you must build your leaf box on that too, do you?
Yeah. So I did have my leaf box.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I did have my leaf box on the GMC. I still got it. I got to thank my dad for that. He's like the guy behind the scenes. He builds the box. I remember getting. I think my first year when I bought that box, bought the materials, it was like 100 or 200. So that just shows you the inflation that's going on. When I built my box, 2 years ago for my Ford, it was like $500 or $600 of wood materials. So
crazy.
Inflation's definitely going up. But
say that again.
Yeah. That's the world we live in.
Yeah.
It certainly
gotta
is.
raise your prices, right? It's all good.
Right. Yeah, we gotta move forward with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to, or you'll fall behind. So that's good. Yeah, and you're a big walker mower guy like myself, aren't you?
Yeah.
Nice. Do you want to touch on that?
Yeah. Yep. So right out of the gate, I bought a T25i, and I think that's what you have too.
Oh yeah, love
that's
it.
what you start off with, and I saw you have the Walker B too.
Yeah.
So I had the T25i. That was my first purchase. For HL, I'd say my big purchase, other than my truck.
Yeah.
And that thing was great out of the gate. Having no leaf sucker. I would just blow out of the beds and then just walker it up, and that I cannot say. I don't think I have anything bad to say about that walker. It's just it helped me out of the gate. It was my second guy. It was my right hand man, And yeah, just with cleanups, mowing, just does a great cut. And like you were saying, Brendan, you know, I do get a lot of lawns that get fertilizer, irrigation, and they like to be bagged, which is fine.
Okay.
So I do a lot of I would say I probably do 60% of my clients bagged, and then the other 40 are probably
okay.
Bagged. And
Nice, interesting. Yeah, that was my next point. I noticed you do bag a lot, so so most of your customers, they request for you to pick it up.
And we'll haul it away. Like Martin said, he puts all his stuff in his dump. So yeah, you know, the dump's big 8-foot bed, whatever it is.
Right.
You know, we'll put all. Shout out Square Barrel. I know Martin. Brandon. You're ambassador in Canada.
Yeah, we got
about
a couple of those.
So I switched over to Square Barrel, and those have been great. So I saw the owner. He showed how they would use, dump the walker and put 2 square barrels there. So those have been great. So you just dump it into the square barrels and then put it into the truck. And obviously, it does take a toll on your back, but that heavy grass, but it is what it is. So I did have my T25i walker for 3 or 4 years, and then I sold it to a buddy that I met on Instagram, Mike, and he has it now. It got like 1,000. I think it had like 1,000 to 1,200 mint condition. I always would take it to my local dealership just so they could tune it up. I did all the other maintenance to it and kept it looking mint, as I like to say. And then I was talking to my dealer, and I was like, hey, when do you think, because I don't know if I was, whatever I was thinking, but I was just like, if I was going to sell this, when do you want to? And he was like, around 1,000 hours. So I was like, screw it. I'll sell it and then buy a new one. So obviously, talking about inflation, I think I bought my Walker T25i for $15,600. And then I think 4 years later, 3 or 4 years, I just bought, last year, I just bought the Walker T27i, which I love. But it went to $21,000, which was crazy. I literally bought my GMC for $22,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy the way stuff has been going price wise.
Oh.
People, like, customers just don't get it, right? They just like, oh, it's a guy showing up to cut the grass, and it's like, my lawnmower is worth more than your car.
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
And I have two, and there's 2 of them on the trailer.
Yeah.
So it's just like, people don't realize, right, the expense of that sort of.
Right.
Yeah, they're used to John Deere's or something. Even John Deere's now, I think, are like $3 or $4 grand at Home Depot. You can't get those cheap. But yeah, I think just a big thing clients don't see, like the windstorm. I bet clients were thinking, oh wow, he finished quick, but they don't get what horsepower that windstorm has. Just they just see
and what that machine costs to buy.
Oh
yeah, they have no clue.
No, nope. Yeah, I know.
As long as I guess as long as all of us do a great job, then they don't have anything to worry about.
No, they just glad it's done.
That's right. And they didn't have to. And that's the other thing I get a lot too. They'll be like, oh, if I did that, I'd be doing that for like 2 weeks, And it's like,
yeah, you would be.
That's why you hired us.
Yep. That's why I'm here. That's good. Nice. What do you use any software, Jack? And how do you navigate that part of your business?
So I tried using QuickBooks out of the gate, and I didn't like it. So I actually got this app. I think I got it right out of the gate when I was starting.
Yeah.
And it's called Hours Keeper, I think. It's just an iPhone app, and I've been using it since day one, and it's great. It it does everything I think QuickBooks would do. I got grandfathered in. I think I paid like $2 or $3.99 out of the gate, and now it's like 15 to. I think they got big right after a couple years later. And now it's like $15 a month, but I pay $0, so I'm like, well, why should I change? It has all my clients in it, just like Jobber. I think both of you are on Jobber. Yeah, and I've looked into Jobber too, but I'm just not ready to make the jump. I got all my information in there.
Totally.
I got all my clients. I got, each year, whatever. And eventually I think I will. I think it'll catch up and it won't keep on updating. Like they're still updating here and there. What I do like though is like emails. I'll go to my Apple. I have an iPhone, so I'll go into my Apple Mail and it will have all my contacts. You can, obviously you can put all your clients' emails in there, and then I can just look it up in my Apple Mail, and
so it integrates well together.
Yeah, the invoices go right through my Apple Mail, so it's perfect.
Nice.
Do you do anything for schedule? Is it schedule as well? Like for
no. So that's all. I'm big on Apple Notes. I would say with that, like I'm very OCD. I'd say on that part. So like for cleanups, I will. For cleanups, like as you can just see right here.
Yeah.
You can't see.
Yeah.
So see all that.
Yeah.
So I'll leave them. I'll literally go through, and I have like 4 or 5 years worth of notes of what I charged them then, this year. But yeah, no, I'll go right through and I press that button when I'm done. Say with your house, Brendan, I'll
you're checking it off right when you do it.
Nice.
Yeah, right there. I'm like very OCD about that. I'll put I'll look what I charged you last year, see what it was for time, put this year's, and then put you on the done list. And that's a big thing I do. I'm very organized on that part.
I'm big with notes as well. I use that that's how what I use for our plowing. So I set it up, but what I do is like with our employees, I have it set to like collaborate. So that they, like the 3 other guys that are plowing can kind of do it as well. So like it's divided out into my section and then the other 3 guys. So I can see live when they're checking off a property.
There you go.
So then you can kind of follow along with it. And I've been using that for 9 years, I think, it's the best system I've come up with for doing snow. So notes definitely has its benefits.
Apple Notes.
I can give you my advice on that. I have Microsoft Excel, and I just make an Excel sheet, January. So whatever, I'll make 4 or 5 columns. So if I go over that, I can just obviously print out another sheet. I put all your clients on there, and then I'll just go, January 7th at the top, and then I check off. I like to do each. I go by push when plowing. So each time I go out and go plow, that's one storm. I call it. It's over 3 inches. And I'd say
that's what I did too. So when I use the Note app, that's like while we're out during the storm. So like we still come home and then we put all the visits and everything into Jobber. But that's like live as we're plowing. So if we were to go out tonight, like we'd clear that sheet out and then I print it off. We give a copy to the lady in the office and then we just kind of do it. And then she puts it all into Jobber that way. So we kind of do like a combination of the two just because we have 4 different machines going out. So that way I know that Tyler's on property 7 on his list and Dan's on 3 and Corey's on 4. Yeah. So you can kind of follow along. Without really using GPS or anything like that. But then we do the same thing. Like, and that's what I did when I started was the spreadsheet. I'd have 1 through 31 across the list. And then I'd check off the days that we did it and total it up and bill it that way. So,
and I like to, if you don't check it off, you can, if I'm not going to do your house, Martin, I'll scribble it out. I'll just scribble that section. So, I know
you're not getting billed for it.
Yeah. And then, I would go, I like to go back that night because the way my app works, Hours Keeper, it obviously shows you the date. So it's just easier. And that's where my OCD comes in too. I'll get home that night. And if it's not too late, I'll go in and I won't bill, but I'll put in what I like to say their books, like their profile that I did either 1 plow, 2 plows. And then I bill, I don't know what you guys do, but I bill monthly for plowing and mowing also.
Yeah, we're kind of doing that same sort of thing. Our mowing, we kind of always did like we bill at the end of each month, but we were kind of doing either per cut or season. So we do give them the option to prepay. That's kind of one of the things we're working on this winter is try to get everything kind of switched to like a prepay or monthly to kind of eliminate that back end paperwork of having to mark off every visit. And so that's kind of the route we're trying to go. So.
Or you get to chase money, which is, no one wants to do that.
No, it's a pain.
Yeah, no, I like people prepay for like 16 mows or something. I like that. I like when they'll pay up front. It's just easier, and obviously you don't want that client that you have to keep on, emailing, hey, your invoice is overdue. But,
do you do any kind of discount for a prepay?
I wouldn't say I don't have too many clients that do it, so
Okay.
I would say no, but you could definitely think, I guess that's a good.
Yeah, because I've talked to a few people kind of trying to make that transition. That's what he said. A few people said that is kind of like a big key to get them to do it is kind of if you pay by like say if our mow season starts the middle of May, if it's prepaid by April 30th, you get 7 or whatever percent you work out. And it just kind of gives them that incentive. And then next thing you know, if you have 100 lawns and they're all paying by April 30th, that's a nice set of cash flow to kind of work through
True. No,
your whole season, right? So it's kind of, we've been toying with that idea now, just trying to make make things as easy as possible throughout the busy season, right?
So that's less time on you guys. You can focus more on the job than, on the book. But yeah, no, I guess that's a good point. Obviously, I guess I'm not much help with that.
Oh, it's like I said, there's lots of people that said the same thing. They don't. It's just kind of, I'm just kind of feeling out different kind of strategies to try to do it and stuff.
Yeah. But I'm the same way. I do it at the end of the month, Jack and Martin. But Martin and I were chatting before, and we got to figure it'd be nice to offer a prepay option where you save maybe 5 or 10% if people would do it, because it is hard starting up again in April when you haven't. Cash
have
flow
a slow winter.
Yeah,
and you could always do the same thing now with your winter stuff. Do you base like per time you plow, correct? That's how you bill it?
Yeah, so I'll still put it in their book. So if I plow on the 7th, the 13th, the 14th, the 20th, they'll get that bill on February 1st, which next.
Did you look into doing any like seasonal plowing, like a set rate for the season for plowing?
I don't really get into. I help my dad out with his commercials, but like contract wise, I go by push, and
it's like that's what we did for the long. It's just so simple and clean, right? It's if we plow you 7 times, you pay us 7 times.
Yeah, that's
it
right.
Just makes it.
I wouldn't mind getting commercial eventually, but salting, I don't know.
No, we do that with our residential properties, like a seasonal rate for it. Like you can like a set price, or like whether it's like a one-time prepay or monthly. Or per time. So we kind of give 3 options, which is nice too. Like for a slower winter like this, that if we have customers that prepay a set rate for the season, we know like we have money coming in all year, which will cover bills and that sort of stuff too, right? So it might be something to kind of look into. Some people might like it, but it just kind of depends what your customer base is used to as well, right? If everyone in the area does per time, it's kind of hard to be the only guy who does seasonal.
Yeah, I guess contracts are making out great right now because all this contract commercial work, because we only got, like you said, 3 storms, but they're still making money, I guess, which is good compared to me. I'm waiting for that next storm.
Yeah, so you pretty much do mostly residential then?
Yep. So I'd say I do all residential, and I'll go out. My dad's big on, he's a construction worker, but like I said, my godfather's his boss, and Tommy, and they have a bunch of commercial spots they got to plow. So I'll go out and I like to feel it out. Hey, we got 3 inches of powder, and I'll plow with my dad for a while. I'll plow for him, and then I'll go do my residential. But I've always liked doing that right out of the gate. Like I've been shoveling for my dad since I was young.
The shovel.
Yeah, so he got me doing that. He got me doing that, and I'd always ride around with him. So I guess it all worked out. Now I'm plowing too, and
all came back full circle.
Yeah, I bet he loves that. And but yeah, no, I just like doing that. He like barely will sleep. If we get a snowstorm, he's not sleeping that night. He'll be
fired up.
And I'm right there too. I'm like, Dad, what do we got? What's the situation?
When are we going? Now,
so when he retires, that's going to be a wake up call to me. I'm going to be waking up every hour, and because now I got him to wake me up. Hey,
he's your alarm clock. But do you do shoveling and stuff as well, or do you just?
Yeah, so I got some older clients that it's just like my dad's like, don't get out of your truck. It's liability, this and that. And, I will, but I obviously I don't try marketing it, because we had our first storm of the year. I don't know about you, but was 15 inches. We didn't see anything. and then boom, 15 inches just come. And did that pay a toll on my back?
I would imagine.
I did a good amount of shoveling. I always will get away too, plowing, get the snow away from the garage doors. Not for all my clients, but if we talk about it in advance, I'll just come up with whatever the price is for that. But yeah, I wouldn't say I shovel everyone, but I do shovel.
Have kind of a few here and there. Yeah. It's hard, especially you have your labor, like your employee now, but it's a tough call to go when you're by yourself doing it.
Yeah. No, and I will say I like it a little bit, getting out of the truck, moving, because sitting in that truck all day long too, I think that's a backbreaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's a rough old go.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Nice. Well, Jack, what do you got for some future plans or goals? I know you mentioned you just hired your kind of a main guy, right-hand man for you this year. So
yep. So that's a big plus for me with that. I was looking into a new trailer. My trailer, just the one I got, it is great. But having that, having the walker, and then I didn't really mention I talked a little bit about the Skag, but I got a 61-inch Skag cheetah, which I love.
Nice. Yeah.
Very durable. Thing's badass. It can cut anything. Yeah. And so I got those two in there, and it's an 18-foot trailer with a 2-foot V. So it's it's 75 GV 7500 GVW, but it's definitely pushing. When I put that windstorm in the spring and the fall, it's definitely pushing its weight. Its limit, and I'm actually getting it fixed right now. So I was looking into a new trailer, and I was looking into just a more durable. I think I need the axles to heavier duty axles and stuff. But right now I'm going to keep with what I got. I'm going to fix my leaf springs on it, do some, little TLC work to it. And I had it for 4 years. So, you guys know, like anything, wear and tear, stuff's going to break down, and you just got to either fix it or you go buy something.
Buy a new one. Yeah.
But so I was thinking of buying a new trailer, but that's going to be down the road. Obviously, I rent right now, so that's a big thing. I'd love to own a house. It's tough being an owner because, I own it by myself. So it's, you got to keep that money coming in. So buying a house is that's a big, big thing. Me and my girlfriend would love to do.
Yeah, I know. And it's so hard right now.
Everything's so expensive.
It's a seller's market here on the seacoast. Like, you're paying for a beach view or even being by the beach.
Okay, so that inflates the price pretty substantially then for you, because you're right by the water, right?
Yeah, and like a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, what used to be probably $300,000 or $400,000 is going for like $600,000 now.
Yeah, okay.
2-bedroom, even like trailer parks are going for 3s, which is they would be $150,000 back in the day,
right?
Not even $90,000. Now they're going for $300,000.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely makes it tough for young fellas coming up. So
yeah,
definitely. Like I said, I want to trade. I'd love to trade in my GMC that I started out with. I'm just a Ford guy, and my dad has a F350, and I just every time I see it, I'm like, I want one. I want one in black, and he has his whole fleet's white.
Right.
I'm starting to. My dump truck's like a green. It's like a dark green. I love it. Ford did a great job with that. And then my GMC is obviously black. So I like the black. I like black. I've been wearing black.
It looks clean. By.
Yeah. A lot of people are like, it's isn't that hot in the summer? But I got this good, it's called Sports Tech. This is all the shirts that we wear, and they're like Under Armour almost.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll wear those long sleeve, short sleeve. I got tanks in it. And then I obviously got some crew neck, but the black, whatever, I'm used to it. It doesn't make a difference. I'm sweating either. I'll sweat 5 minutes into the job. So
I like the big logo on the back of your shirt there.
Same. I like that.
I had a girl that I went to high school with created my logo.
Nice. And your number and.
Yeah. She was gonna put GH, but I was like, no, H. And I'd love to be known. Like, I bet people do know me by that. Actually, a guy back in the day, though, that was like, oh, is that the University of Hawaii logo? Did you steal that? And I got pretty pissed. I was like, no, I had a girl make this from scratch. And it does, I guess you can see it a little bit. I think it more on my shirts. It looks like it.
I guess, but yeah, right.
Yeah, it's such a bigger appearance too, right? Like if you have everything all logoed up and stuff, it makes it seem like you have more trucks and more people, especially if people see it everywhere, right? It's like, oh, I just seen them over there, and now there's one here, so maybe it just kind of gives a bigger appearance, and that really helped us when we started. Like I had one truck, it was all like vinyled up, logoed, all that stuff. Yeah, people would say they'd see my truck everywhere and think I'd had multiple of them. Like, no, like I'm the only employee. It's me driving around in one truck, right?
So, Martin. Yeah. People would be like, "Oh, I saw you over, doing this," and I'm like, "Well, it's just me, so I don't know what you're talking about." But
it works.
Yeah, so I definitely, back to your point, truck's a big one. I'd love to get a new F-350. Like we were talking, just like houses that I'd love to buy. Trucks are just crazy now. I should have bought. My dad's boss bought at the right time. I would say right before they spiked the whole Ford thing. Now they're going for like 61,000. It's just, and I guess that's the price. But I guess
it's not going down anytime soon.
Yeah, you just got to come to realization with it, I guess, and just send it. But it is a write-off. But it's like I can't justify that.
Yeah, it's a big payment, right? It's
that's
$1,000 a month or whatever, right? It's
like
adds up quick.
I got the GMC that's all paid for, or do I want to take on a whatever? 1,500. I don't know.
Welcome to the club of those decisions.
I'm big on keeping trucks that are paid for. I bought like one new truck. Well, I bought my first truck. I bought new, but that was in 2012, my first year.
Trucks?
I have a Chev 1500.
So basically the same as my GMC.
Yeah, 2 Duramaxes,
nice.
A Chev 3500, like that's my 1-ton dump, and then I just went to the dark side and bought a Ford for the first time ever. I've never ran anything besides Chevs, and I got a smoking deal on it, and I couldn't pass it. I got an 2014 F-250 with a dump insert for $4,000.
Hey, can't
so
beat
I was
it.
Like, let's roll.
So I was like, I'll go to the Ford side, I guess.
Yeah, I did get some shots in at him for going to a Ford, but
I've taken my lashes, but
What do you run, Brandon?
I'm a big Dodge Ram guy, so
everyone's got their own taste.
Yeah, I know. So we got a 3,500 single cab dually with an 8-foot box, called the White Buffalo. It's a beauty. It's got the dump insert, and then we just have an old like 1,500 Ram. That kind of does our little residentials. So
nice.
Bit of a Dodge guy. No, I don't. No. I tried to get into it a bit that's what everyone tells me, smart. I tried to get into it this year and it just didn't work out, but I ref a lot of ice hockey up here in the winter. So
there you go.
Yeah, I've been doing that for my 11th year. So I got a junior hockey game tonight in Wellesley. So
there you go. Good for you. Good for you.
Keeps me busy. Keeps me busy, keeps me in shape for the spring, keeps me in the game of hockey, which I love. So no, it works for me. So, but like you said earlier, doing debris removal jobs and doing little things like that. I do 1 or 2 of those random little jobs every week too. So just staying busy, right? That's what it's all about.
No, it's anything. I'd take on anything right now, moving, done some moving jobs for people. Whatever they want, just get me off the couch.
Yeah. Well, the bills keep coming all summer too, or all winter, right? The bills don't stop if it doesn't snow. So
and it's definitely good after the fall. I always take like a 2 week. I'm just but
I know.
You just need to reset that mind and and just chill out. I'm big into yoga now. I've found that's a good for the mind and just stretching and all that, because I work out too, but when I work out I'll just pump right into it and not stretch. So
classic. Same.
I've got I'm a yogi master.
Oh, good for you. Oh, that's it's good for you. Flexibility is definitely where it's at. I know.
Yeah.
I have none of that. I
No,
don't think I could touch my toes.
Yeah, I've been doing it for like a year. I'm still not that flexible. So
Yeah.
We'll get
I think
you
if I
there.
touch my toes, I'll be stuck like that.
Yeah.
No
Nice.
getting back up.
No.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
No, not anymore.
Yeah. Do you have any advice, Jack, for maybe someone that is in your position or someone that just started or looking to start?
Yep. Yeah. So I actually get this a lot of the time on Instagram, which I love because, I'm young. I'm 26.
Yeah.
So who's going to look up to me? But I get a lot of young kids, and I love to see, on TikTok and all these things, kids get a mower and they start crying. It's just a different world we live in now. I love that they're coming into our field. A big thing I would say though is just keeping your rep. Be respectful. That's what I've been telling. I talked to some kid the other day, and it's just, they'll talk to me about, like, should I get a walker? Like, that's pretty expensive. And that seemed expensive to me at the start, but just keeping a good rep, word of mouth, you want to do great work. You want to be reliable. So I would go with the basics right there. And then, start small. I started off with, going back to my godfather, I started off with his truck. I didn't have any trucks. I was obviously looking. I didn't have much money. So he let me rent his truck, and I had a magnet, and I'd stick right over his company. I'd stick my magnet.
Nice.
So it looked like my truck. And I bought a trailer. I bought my first mower from my buddy, Patrick, for $500, a 0-turn Husqvarna, just a homeowner's. Got me through the first year or so.
Nice.
So definitely don't get too big too early. Like, take on what you can.
Yeah.
And just start small. Like out of the gate, I did flyers. Back to your marketing, I did flyers out of the gate. I would do that. I didn't have much luck with it. Obviously I'd hand deliver them, so I knew where I was going. But it's just, you just gotta get your word out. Another thing I'd like to say, which was pretty cool, I got a great community and great group of friends. When I was starting out, I would sell shirts, just to I wouldn't even sell. I was going to give them out. And then I started hearing, oh, how much? And I'm like, dude, it's a landscaping shirt. Why do you want to buy this? So I sold over I think I sold over 100, definitely, to all my buddies. So they all be repping at the gym. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's big. And that was always great.
I really that's a good idea.
I like that. I might snag that from you.
Giving out some shirts and stuff like that.
And I did that when I was young. I don't even now. I hand them out for free.
Yeah, right.
But now I'm actually, I got the big H. But
nice.
Before that, it was just a dream, and a lot of people supported me, and they still do. I'm thankful for that. They'll wear it. Someone will say, "Hey, I saw your, someone at the gym. Rock the shirt," and I was like, "Hey, thank you."
Mm-hmm. No, that's
it's just nice.
It's like I said, the more they see it, the better it goes.
That's right. That's right.
Yep. The more time.
Sure.
Nice.
No, back to the, it's just, you just got to just be a hard worker. Back to the basics. You have a great work ethic. Just be reliable and be honest, and it will go a long way, I think.
Nice.
It works itself out in the long run.
Yeah,
don't try to be, don't try to be a heavy highballer, and that won't go far.
It just doesn't work.
And that's one of the downsides of Instagram, right? You see all these everybody look at's running all this new equipment, but the stuff I have now, I was nowhere near that when I started 14 years ago, right? I had a little Mazda Protege with a little 4x6 trailer with a John Deere Home Depot mower in the back. That's what I started with, and that's what you used, and it just that's not you don't see it, right? You don't see that all these people all these kids going out and buying $10,000 mowers. You can get a $2,000 mower. It's gonna cut. It might not cut the grass the same, but it's still gonna get your name out there, get you started, get your foot in the door, right, and then kind of buy the equipment and grow as you need.
True.
Yeah.
True.
I know.
Definitely.
No. Oh, that's good. Thanks for that, Jack. All right, where can everyone find you on Instagram? I know Martin and I both follow you on there, but where can they find you?
At Jack Haraden. Nice. Big on Instagram's probably my biggest one. I just like I think the biggest thing on Instagram I like is, obviously I have a personal one too, but I just love connecting with other landscapers, seeing what they're doing, get ideas. So that's why I'm thankful for being on here today too. Just getting to share that with you guys and hearing a little bit about you guys. And but yeah, I just like, I think going back to the marketing, it's just, I just like to show, I guess, other landscapers and brand of people who follow me just our work, and I'm proud of it and stand behind it, and I just want to share with everyone.
Yeah, nice. Well, you definitely should be proud of it because you do some great work. You're always popping up in my feed, and you have been over the past couple of years, right? And I know me and you have been chatting. I'll be like, oh, like how's your walker? And we'll chat like, in the spring and then in the summer. So I think that's so cool too. And you're how many hours away from me, right? So.
Oh, you break out for a second.
That's good.
Oh, you broke we're good.
Yeah, he's just saying how you guys connect through Instagram and whatnot. So
No,
it's a good system,
that was
right?
great. And no, I love daily posting. Sometimes I'm probably annoying about it, posting the stories, but in the winter it's slow on content. I definitely want to take from something from you guys. I want to get better at, obviously with Kyle this year, I have a guy now that either I can film him or he can film me, and I love time lapse. Like I love those. I got a drone last year, which was great, but
nice.
It does work good, but I just need to get better at editing and stuff.
Yeah.
But you guys do great content, like Brandon with your edging. What do you use what do you use for a camera?
Well, I have a few cameras, but my main one, I like the GoPro Hero 9 Black, and I use the GoPro head mount. That's what you always. Mount? Yeah, and then I have the vertical mount for the camera, so then it makes it portrait mode, right? So it looks good. I know it's kind of getting down the rabbit hole a bit, but that's how I do with that one. They look super cool, so people love it, so I keep doing it. Whatever, right?
Yeah,
yeah, I know. Yeah, no, it's the media part of it. It's like you just gotta go out every day and say, okay, I'm gonna film at least one thing today,
True.
And really
try to change it up.
Yeah, really focus on. It does suck, and then you can kind of stockpile, videos, which is kind of the point I've got to, right? I'm pulling from stuff I've done 2 or 3 years ago, so that's kind of which is good, but it does take some, it takes some hard work, but
I'm sure all our camera rolls are the same. I know mine. I have like 11,000 pictures in my iPhone, and then there's like 11,000 pictures and like 4,000 videos. And like see it, like it's just there, right? So you're able to kind of pick back through, and it just sucks when you're trying to find a picture to show somebody. And you're scrolling for 3 minutes just trying to find something from last month. So
oh no, I know, that's good. Cool, awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on, Jack. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me, guys. I hope I hope the podcast skyrockets. You guys are great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we'll keep doing our thing.
It was awesome. It was good chatting with you, and
great chatting with you
again sometime.
Nice to finally see you, other than on Instagram, and see your faces.
Right.
Yeah, so meet people face to face versus.
We'll definitely keep in touch, the three of us, and.
Right. Yeah,
man.
Feel free anytime.
Sounds good. I'll post the link to your Instagram and the details so people can click on it and follow you. So
follow. Yeah, nice follow. Get my followers up.
Yeah, we'll get them up for you. Unreal.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, Jack.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good chat, buddy.
See you later.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We want to thank you for listening to the Crooked Stripes podcast. If you liked this episode of the pod, subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It's very much appreciated. Head over to Instagram and follow @The Crooked Stripes. From there, stay up to date on all things lawn, landscaping, and snow removal. Don't forget to join us next week for another episode of The Crooked Stripes. Thanks again for listening.